what's up? Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good?
Last week I said podcasting was saturated, and a couple podcasters was, a little perturbed. Recently, the list of top 100 podcasts came out. So I want to follow up with how many podcasts do you know make $1 million a year or more per year? And if most podcasts are not profitable, what is the incentive for you to keep making shows and adding people to the network? Might clip this up.
How many podcasts that I know make over $1 million in revenue a year? I know Market Mondays does. I know Earn Your Leisure does. So that's two right there I can speak
Shug Shoddy, what is we doing?
I can't speak for everybody else.
Earn Your Leisure did.
I'm assuming a lot of these guys do, but you never know.
And women too.
You need to go get an IV, a peace and serenity IV with ginger shots.
You never know. But what the motivation behind adding shows to network is, hey, we try not to add too many shows. It's quality over quantity. And I look at shows, it's not even about the money. I look at the impact. Like, you know what I mean? Like 19 Keys, he's going to make money because he's just viral. But I know how important his show is, and I know how important his message is. So the money's going to come, especially if enough people watch it, you're going to make money. But I feel like we're in a position now to give a voice to people that are important. So that's something that we don't take lightly. So like I said, Keys, he actually had a podcast before this. A lot of people was not aware of that, but he had a podcast. It was a little inconsistent. He wasn't really putting out content on a consistent basis. And, it's kind of like off and on. So
let me defend my brother real quick, Keys. I got you. What if he needed space as a creative to breathe and let God down?
No, it's all good. It's no
disrespect.
Yeah.
Like,
Keys, you my dog. I got you.
Honestly, Ian,
but you know how the internet do. They're like, man, Shorty said Keys.
Nah. That's my brother.
That's our guy. We were just with him. And honestly, it was like he came to an event that we were doing, and we just had a conversation. It was the first time like me and him had like a 2-hour conversation, and I was telling him like the first time we did a show, like when he does the recommended, he's like was the recommended. So I listened to it. I'm like, you have too much value to add to not be doing this, and it took like maybe 2 minutes of convincing him because he just has that aura and that confidence in himself. He's like, yeah,
let's
need to bring that back. Yeah. And so that's when his ideas started going, and I remember I called Shaggy like, yo, Keys is coming back.
Now Keys,
he's coming back, and he wants to do it with us.
Keys is actually my brother. Like I talk to him almost every day. Like when I look at that's like Tupac on death row. Tupac is already Tupac, but being on death row, that just added fuel to the fire. So Keys is gonna be a star regardless.
Yeah,
but EYL push, the EYL force behind it, what he has, now that's napalm. Now you got napalm bomb. And that's what's happened. Like, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. 4 months and one of the highest shows in America right now.
Ever.
In the world. So that's something to me that's important. We're looking to, expand and do things outside the reach. We're looking for female voices because it's important, it's needed. Matt, MG the Mortgage Guy, and Kiana Watson, a show about real estate is important. It's an important topic that needs to be drilled down on, not just one time. Earn Your Leisure, we might not be able to cover real estate every single week. We cover stocks every single week with Market Mondays. Market Mondays is important, but real estate is important also. So it's like, that's important. Like, so for me, I think that giving a voice to people about important topics that people aren't necessarily always talking about is more of a motivational force than the money.
Do you think? Go ahead.
From a collaboration standpoint, like if we're going to talk about collaboration over competition, like all these people probably could have started on their own, will have grown the same way. I don't know, maybe not. But if we're going to preach it, let's actually demonstrate it. I think that's the beauty about what we do, right? Like people hear us talking about these things and these kind of theories, but we're actually living it and they're seeing the products of it. So even with Ash Cash, like this is a guy who was on our
shout out Ash Cash.
He's episode 26 of Earn Your Leisure. But we have a amazing relationship with him, and we've watched his show just grow. And so Inside the Vault is incredible. right? He's having shows that go over 100,000. I know his Storm episode did over 400, almost 500,000 views. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, it's not going to work right away the way you think, because again, and I love the Pinky analogy, and she was like, yo, it's new. It's a business. Like, yeah, you have 300,000 people that follow you on Instagram, but this is a new audience. This is an audio experience. This is not just a podcast. This is an audio experience, and that base has to grow with you. And so, like, I remember having a conversation like, yo, if you're doing Instagram lives every day and you're telling people to listen to your show every Thursday, it's like, well, we listen to you for an hour every morning.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, what are we going to do? Like, we got to focus in on what the product is. And so if Inside the Vote's the product, let's do that. And the results have been great, man. So shout out to Ash and his show, and a Wealth too. Shout out to Dave McCullough, who when we sat down with him and we understood, I mean, we already understood the importance of mental health, but how he delivered it. I mean, his background in tech and his background in the mental health space is incredible. Why wouldn't we add that to a community? Not just Earn Your Leisure Network, but to our community, right? It's a different voice, it's a different topic, but it's a super important topic that no one talks about. Right, like we hear Charlamagne bring it up, but like, yo, Dave does that every week. So I mean, it's about giving new voices to a community and having more listeners come in to say, all right, well, they offer this and this, and like you said, like the female voice, that's gonna come soon, because it's important. We need to hear female voices.
Like, how do you find a way to give the most value while doing the shows, while not giving away secrets that your competitors could use against you?
I mean, for us, it wasn't still not really necessarily about not giving away secrets, because I feel like Michael Jordan teaching you how to shoot a jump shot. There's only really one way to shoot a jump shot, right? I mean, there's different variations, but it's not a secret. It's not a secret. What I was telling Keys is like, I could tell you the whole entire thing, which you pretty much have done. If you really watched at this point over 100,000 hours of content, there's really no secret. We pretty much told you every single thing that we have.
Yeah.
The thing that I know, and this is what once again, going back to basketball, that I know like is going to separate us is the endurance. So like when Nipsey said it's a marathon, like anybody can work hard for short periods of time. It's not easy to dedicate your whole entire day, every single day, for 5 years.
Yeah.
That's like Kobe. Like that's when you become Kobe level. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can tell you how to, it's not like it's a secret. Like I said, there's only really one way to swing a golf club. Like Tiger Woods, if you watch Tiger Woods, you're going to see what he's doing. You watch Michael Jordan, you're going to see what he's doing. It's not like he has a secret thing in his sneakers that's making him do anything different. Are you willing to do the same exact thing every single day for 12 hours a day for 12 years?
Weekends included.
No, every day. That's what I'm saying. Every single day. It's like, you're probably not going to be. So I could tell you the whole entire blueprint. I'm here to play. I'm going to give you the play. We gave you the play already. And I hope you do run the play. But it's really not a threat for me, because I know that our endurance level is different. Like I'm willing to go to lengths that 99% of the people not willing to go to. So that alone is going to make competition very thin, because I know you're not willing to do the things that I'm willing to do. And that's how I've always been my whole entire life. When I was playing basketball, ask Troy, like I play basketball by myself, 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't like to get up early. I hate getting up early. I knew that at 6 o'clock, nobody else was going to be on the court. So I knew that
Kyle Watson vibes. I feel you.
I knew I had to do it. I knew I had to do things that nobody else was willing to do. And to this day, we know we have to do things that nobody else is willing to do and nobody else is going to do. And that's always going to propel us, because our work ethic is just different.
I mean, it's evident. People like, they watch, like, I don't know how y'all do it. People always say the same thing to us when they see us. I don't know how y'all do it.
I'll tell you. It's tough. Like,
because we know
the nobody else part fun. That's work, man.
Yeah. I mean, it looks fun. But it's taxing, but we're willing to do it because, like you said, nobody. I know if you saw what we have to do on a daily basis, you'd be like, all right, I can't do this for 3 days, let alone 3 years. Like, there's no way.
But think about it though. Like we got a video on all the equipment that you should use to start a podcast. You can look it up on YouTube. We got a video and audio where we tell you exactly what microphones we use, and we tell you. I got a video where I explain for 20 minutes about social media, how to master social media apps, all the stuff that I did, the fonts to use, all of that stuff. We got a video on how to monetize YouTube. We got a video on how you could monetize merch. We got videos on how to do live events. We got videos on audio, how you get paid from audio, how to navigate that. We gave you the play. As far as what we do, we can't give you the play for what we haven't done yet. But anything that we have done, it's not a secret. It's public information, and we've given you the play. And I'm sure some people have actually executed on the play and made money. David Shan's a perfect example of that. When we met David Shan's, he was inconsistent with his podcast. It's not disrespectful saying that because he's one of the top in the game right now. It's just a fact. Troy sat down with an hour at Jeremy Anderson's house, gave him the play. Now he makes millions of dollars a year from his show. He asked him, he'll tell you. He gave him the blueprint on this is what you do. He's one of the few people that actually had the discipline to actually execute it. But he gave him the play. He ain't charge him. He didn't charge him. Ask him how much he charged him for that consultation. He ain't charging for that. Told him exactly, this is what you need to do. This is what we did. Gave him the whole blueprint.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Your boy going up. I know they can't stand it.